Before we jump into today's video, guys, smash that subscribe button. We are about 1,000 subscribers away from giving a car away. The car will have a retail value of around £1,000. So whatever the case is, you will get around £1,000 for you for hitting that subscribe button if you are the winner. So the way that's going to work is I will buy a car. I will then put it up on the channel that this is going to be the flipping cars. If you guys want a chance to win it, jump in. Then you have the option of me detailing the car, fixing it up, selling it on and bank transferring you the money. If you're not in the UK, obviously that's the only way we can do it. Or if you are in the UK, you can come down, spend the day with me, learn a few tricks, see what goes on in the dealership and get the car ready for sale. And you can drive it away and go and put it up for sale. You can keep it, do whatever you want with it. So yeah, hit that subscribe button. Let's see what I've bought because it is the ugliest car I've ever seen. We're back, guys. Last week there was no video because end of the month it was so busy at the dealership. I didn't really have any cars come in that were worth anything to do a video on. A couple of cars that were scrapped, one crash damage Matiz, nothing that really works for what I'm about. We've still got the little Rio, so the my words are not coming out. The £500 to £5,000 challenge, which was the last two videos. I've still got that car. Like, I advertised it at the middle of the month. I've got somebody coming to see it tonight, so hopefully I can just move that on for around £850 now. It's advertised for 900, not 1,000, and we just move on to something that's a little bit more desirable that we can make a better profit on, because right now that car is going to make 630 in it, 730, 8, £230 it will make in profit. So not great, but you know, we're just moving forward. Once we get around 3 grand on that series, we'll be able to buy a couple of cars at a time and really have some momentum. But right now we just got to get that one sold on that series. Now today's video is about saving scrap. I paid scrap money. I paid less than scrap money for this car. So We Buy Any Car gave me a valuation for the car of £225, and the scrap come and collect my car is giving me 255. So let's jump over the computer and have a look at what that's saying before we look at this absolutely ugly car. So valuing cars, I get this a lot. Like, how do you value a car? A friend of mine sent me a picture of an £850 car the other day. Is it worth it? And it's how do you work that out? How do you know what one of these little cars are worth for free? Obviously you can go on Auto Trader and put the price in and it will tell you what you should advertise the car for, and then you can work backwards. It needs tyres, it needs paintwork, it needs this, that and the other. But on these cheaper little cars you need a quick valuation. So you're scrolling through Marketplace and you find a couple of cars. How can you value them? So they're up for 300-400 quid, 500 quid, 600 quid, doesn't matter. How can you value this car for free yourself and work out if you want to buy it or not? This is how you do that. So obviously we all know I work at a dealership, so I get Auto Trader's software so I can run a HPI. I can check that it is a Fiat Idea 1.4 active dual logic 5-door. It says automatic, but that is definitely a manual, so I don't know how they've got that wrong. 5 owners, so that's already a bit, but we'll see. It's HPI clear, but it's definitely not a automatic. It will tell me the owners when they changed, whatever. So me, I'm using this and I'm getting a HPI, but I can't actually get a price from Auto Trader because it is too old. 65,800. So if I was to just go pop in the red, 65,813, brings up the car. Normally that would bring up a price and shows me what the car trade value is, what the car retail value is, and then I can go and check in what's for sale and whatnot. But with this one, I can't. So the first thing that I'm going to do with any of these cars when I am looking to purchase them is go straight to the MOT history. This is going to be the most valuable information you're going to find. You're going to find out bits that have been changed. So if we go down, we've got offside front tyre, near side front tyre. So in 2019, 2 front tyres were replaced on the car. You can work that out. So those, it's now on 67. They were replaced at 61 in 19. So front tyre should be good unless they've been doing burnouts on trays. Then, so we've got last year's advisories. So we don't have any receipts for this car yet again, another car with no service history, but I have emailed the owner to see if they've got any receipts at home that they can post over. So what we're working with, so 63,700, so let's call it 64. It's now at 67, so we've got 3,000 miles in a year, but it was locked down, so normal, hasn't done much mileage. They might have done this ball joint, we don't know. Front anti-roll bar corroded, so they guarantee they haven't changed that. Guaranteed they haven't changed the 2 springs, and the rear subframe, I doubt that they've done any welding or under seal or clean that up. But when we go and visually inspect the car, we're going to try and see how bad all this corrosion is, if it's being fixed or replaced. So first, we know if this says oil leak, noisy engine, there's so many things that these can say that just scare you right off a car. So offside front shock, that thing. So there's nothing in here that massively scares us off from buying this car. It's got a bit of corrosion, it's a Fiat, so there's nothing surprising about that. Maybe we can clean it up with some sandpaper or one of the little Dremel drill bits and just get rid of the corrosion and reseal it with a bit of black paint, but that will check. It's still a September, so it will need an MOT. So we already know that we got to spend £40 on an MOT, so we're working out our costings at the same time. So valuation, so now there's nothing on there, it scares me away. Let's have a little look at the We Buy Any Car. So We Buy Any Car, put in the mileage, leave me alone, put in the mileage, put in the reg, and it will give you a valuation. That is a rough trade price. If you take the car there, they're going to knock you down on that and take fees, but I've never took a car to We Buy Any Car, so I can't say exactly what happens. So there we go, 225, and that's what I offered them for the car, and they accepted. Then I went over and did a scrap valuation, so you can literally type in scrap my car, and then that gave me a valuation from remove my car, 255. So if I add on the MOT to what I've bought the car for, 40, 50, 60, I will lose £10 if that car fails an MOT and I decide to scrap it. So now I know that I can get that car taken away and scrapped for £255. If I do an MOT tomorrow and it fails, I lose £10. That's it. That's my loss. So that's my risk that I'm taking. If I can get it to pass an MOT with a couple of advisories, sweet. We're on to when a year's car is worth £500, because any car with a year's MOT has to be worth £500. There's no warning lights on the car. The clutch feels quite light when I backed it in. I haven't driven the car, so I will be driving it for a couple of days after the MOT. So at this point, I can risk £225 for that car, because I'm going to get £255 back, whack it in for an MOT. If it comes back with a huge list of things that nobody's going to want to buy the car because of, it needs brake pads, it needs an exhaust, it needs everything, I'm walking away and I'm going to lose £10. I had a go, I lost a tenner. That's it, you buy a scratch card for a tenner. So let's go have a look at the car and see if we want to actually buy the car, because at this point you could do all this off an advert from Marketplace. You've checked what the scrap value is, you've checked what they want for it, you know your risk of what you're going to lose. If the car's up for £700 and you're going to get back 250, you know what you're going to lose is 500 quid, that's 450. You know you're going to put 450 at risk, that's what you potentially have to lose. So you know where your base prices are at. So let's go check out this ugly car. Not check the tyres. You can't check the brakes because they're on steels. I haven't checked the engine. I haven't checked the oil level. I haven't checked the filter. I had a walk around the car, got in it and drove it into the showroom. That is literally what I've done with this car. So you know what I know at this point. So we're going to go around together and basically see what we've got for £225. Just pop the bonnet ready to check it. So the bodywork, we're going to go panel by panel, checking it out and seeing if it's got any damage, if it's good. So that panel's all right, that panel's going to be fine. It's a little bit of a there, but nothing that we actually care about on a car that is going to be sold for £500. So we got that rear bumper, rear, it's pretty good. Okay, spoke too soon. So that's been painted and it is bubbling up, so that's awful. A few little scratches, I think that's bird poo. I think that's bird poo as well. So nothing. That looks like it's had paint as well. So we got nothing on the bodywork that is gonna put us off. We've got that back little corner, but it's a £500 car, so really not an issue. Headlights have got a little bit of haze on them, which we can get off. It's not a problem. So next we're going to check tyres all the way across. To go all the way across, because obviously if it's wearing on the edge and you just put your finger here and it's wearing on this edge because of the tracking or wheel alignment or whatever, then you're going to need a tyre. Obviously you can't see on the back edge, but you can see that this has still got the little bobbles. So although that is chewing the curb, got bobbles on that. Rear tyre, outer edge, nothing exciting, but the tread on that is low. Don't know if that will get through, but we'll see. As I say, I'm not looking to spend money on the car, so if it fails, it fails. That one is great tread all the way across, and it still has some of the little bubble knot. More of a winter tyre, but no cracking. Good tread, good tyre. And the other front one, some cheap ass tyre, good tread. So not any good tyres on it, but those three should get through an MOT. That one is debatable whether it will pass. Don't think that's going to pass. We see what mood they're in on the day, if they want to give us that. So now we know we might be looking at a rear tyre. Bodywork's alright. So now I'll go to the inside. At this point you're just looking for things that are going to put you off. So in the boot, you've got the parcel shelf. To replace parcel shelves cost like 50 quid, and if they're a rarer car you can pay £100 for a parcel shelf. So check it, see what the spare wheel situation's like. All good, just needs a nice clean out in there, so nothing there that would put me off. Open the door, so just look for where that's dirty, but it's not anything there that puts me off. Check your switches. Yes, it's a cheap car, but you still need to check your switches. It's got the manual mirrors, so that's good. Look for any damage on the seat. Again, incredibly dirty, but nothing that is ripped or torn. We can wet vax that and get it dealt with. Steering wheel, slight wear, but it's a Fiat without being rude. Look for anything that's going to help you sell the car. So aircon, no, but it does have city mode, so it's lighter steering. Basic stereo, look for an aux or anything that's going to play music. USB, aux, any of that is going to help you sell the car more. Then you've got just grime, dirty, but nothing that needs replacing or nothing that's going to put people off the car. Same in the back, nothing here, just normal winders. for any water leaks or any damage or any signs that water's coming in. Obviously, check the roof lining. So on this car, nothing that is screaming, I've been molested, I am a absolute turd of a car. Just had a customer come, so I don't know how that phased in and phased out, but I had to stop filming. Engine bay. I bought this car without checking anything. We are literally at the same point together. So if you go with the car throttle, Mayo check first. Oh, can't even open that. Wow, that's lovely, isn't it? So, nice and disgusting. Air filter's in there, so we ain't going to be able to, on some of the ones you can just pop it, but this has to be all undone. But it does look like it hasn't really been messed with. Which is a good sign. It's an old battery. How many months that's got left in it? And just looking for any oil leaks or anything around the car that's gonna be proper put you off. But these are simple cars. So that alternator belt looks quite new, but so does the alternator as well. And considering there's no cover down the bottom, you would expect that to be a little bit dirtier. So again, that alternator belt definitely is not from 2005. It is far too nice, and that alternator looks quite clean as well. So it would be a guess that everything else is absolutely caked in grime except for that. So it looks like that was replaced. It's a good sign. And then that's where we are at with that for now. Start it up and see how it runs and check the oil levels. Let's get a little cloth. I'm gonna put this on a stand. So you got min max there. Let's have a little dabble. Okay. There's no oil in it. So I've dipped that 3 times now, and that's bone dry, and it's on a flat surface. So let's fire it up and see how it sounds. Not good if it's got no oil in it. It's quite quiet, considering it's got no oil in it. See if we can hear any death rattle. It's safe to say, I don't think this car comes with service history because it has not been serviced. I think the oil has just been eaten and eaten and eaten. I can't see any oil leaks, but I haven't been underneath yet. So we need to check out that subframe, those rear springs, front subframe, and see what corrosion and rust they've advised on the last MOT. Because if it is absolutely destroyed under there, there's no point sending it for an MOT because you ain't gonna get through. So we need to put some oil in it. That's going to be one of the first priorities so that we don't actually blow it up. But next we need to check those advisories from the last MOT and check out how bad it is under there. So give me a second to cool down and we'll have a look. So we're down under the car. It would be easier if I had a ramp, but the exhaust actually looks quite new as well. You would expect a lot more corrosion on that back box. So it's about crawling under a car. So we obviously have got a little bit of corrosion there. So it's not actually horrific. The springs have got a bit of corrosion on them. They're not actually that bad at all. Bit up there, don't get me wrong, it could be sanded back and cleaned up. Let's put the phone up that way. So we've got some more rust there. Starting to peel, but it's nowhere near as bad as I actually thought it would be. And again we've got, so I think still going to get advised, but those springs are not rusted and completely shot, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. At this point you can probably see more than me because the phone is further under. So we've got a surface, could do with being that arm. So again, it's not horrific, and whilst we're here, hello? Is that? It's just from the oil filter. Lovely filter. So that's definitely going to need a service. So after a little roll around, it's not that bad. Obviously MOT testers have to spot any corrosion, so I am going to get some 120 grit sandpaper, sand off any surface rust that I can, and re-seal it with some black paint. Clean up the oil leak down the bottom and investigate that a little bit more. Top up the oil, and that's it. We're going to send it for an MOT. I'm not going to spend hours detailing this car like we normally do and doing before and afters until that MOT certificate is on the car. So I will detail this car probably Wednesday night after work if it passes. So basically, let's get the oil topped up.
Sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. Now when I got you, it's all gonna be yours.
So just sanded that back. Oh boy. So just sanded it back and put some zinc primer on there just to seal it a little bit better. Oh, as I say, the rust is not that bad on it, but now it's a little bit better. So that is it for this video. I'm not going to be detailing the car today. I'm going to quickly tidy up and go home. Oil level is done. The rust is sanded back and primed, so we'll see what comes of that in the next video. In the next video, it's either going to be detailing this and selling this, or the little Rio is sold and we can buy something else. But sometimes in car sales, the hardest part is just sitting and waiting for a car to sell. Some cars are more desirable than others. Clearly a 2009 Rio is not very desirable. So that is it for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Hit that subscribe button, remember.